You want to get on the action? We want to hear from you. Hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com. Slide in our DMs on IG @FadeRoutePodcast. Drop us a DM on Twitter @FadeRouteDNZ. Comment on our YouTube channel, The Fade Route with DNZ. Questions, comments, picks, segment suggestions, you name it, we want to hear from you. Get at us, in crowd. Order up! It is time for us to continue our Major League Baseball preview and order up.
Order up, order up.
This week we are ordering up the American League Central. So, from 5 to 1, who you got, D?
Man, what an interesting division this is. All right. So, at the bottom of the barrel, I've got the Kansas City Royals. I just don't see a lot of talent outside of Bobby Witt Jr. and Zach Greinke. It's just not enough to do anything. Okay. Number 4, I got the Tigers. I think they have slightly more than the Royals, but they're not ready. Casey Mize, Spencer Turnbull, Spencer Torkman. I think they are 2 years away. However, they need to play. They need to start playing like big leaguers. Number 3, I got the Twins. I know a lot of people have the Twins finishing 1. I certainly think it's possible. I just have a feeling Correa's gonna get hurt. Correa's either gonna have like a monster year or just not a year at all. Number 2.
Both things can be true.
Both teams can be true. Number 2, I got Cleveland. I think Cleveland's 2. They'll contend. I think they'll contend all the way to the end. And I think they'll probably wind up getting a wild card. I like their team. They won the division last year. And last year I had the White Sox. This year I'm taking the White Sox again. I mean, I know they lost to Abreu, but I think they have really good starting rotation. They just need to stay healthy. And they were 500 last year, and they were just hurt all last year. Like, everybody was hurt. If they have a healthy year, I think they're contenders.
That's fair. I mean, a lot was working against them last year, including the manager. Like, let's not forget. Let's not downplay Tony La Russa's impact on that. Like, that was pretty bad. So, they're going into this year with a new manager, a a fresher outlook.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens.
I mean,
but
you got Cease. They got Kopech. You would imagine Clevenger, if he doesn't get suspended.
That's going to be a tricky situation. I think he's Trevor Bauer pending an investigation. I think you have to sit him out. Like, domestic violence and child abuse, I think you need to sit him back. That needs to be investigation pending. This is tough, right? There's not much on the Royals, right? You have, they brought in guys to kind of fill out the roster, right? They brought in Ryan Yarbrough. They brought in Jordan Lyles. They brought in guys to trade. They literally brought in guys to deal with the deadline. Like, are you going to deal Zach Greinke? Probably. Like, there isn't much here. There really isn't. Now, the outfield is nothing to sneeze at. And then you got Bobby Witt Jr. You have Hunter Dozier, who had a decent year last year. Let's see what he can do. Like, Nicky Lopez, he's kind of there all the time. He did better last year than he had in previous seasons, but I don't know. Does Salvi Perez finally get traded at age 32? Does he finally get moved on? Yeah, I don't see it. I really don't see it with the Royals. I really don't. 4th place, you're looking at the Tigers. The Tigers are just extremely disappointing. they're just designed to be disappointing. And it starts with pitching, right? Schoolboy's going to miss time. Turnbull is coming back from missing time. Best pitcher on this team is Eduardo Rodriguez. He's kind of eh. Lorenzen, they're going to try him out as a starter. He's most effective out of the bullpen. I think he's better served in that role. Then you have a guy in Matthew Boyd who they're bringing back. So we're going to see how that works out. Like, what are you getting from Javi Baez? What are you getting from Scope? Is Torkelson going to have a better year? Torkelson needs to. He absolutely needs to have a better year than last year. Austin Meadows. There's a huge question mark there. What's he going to be now that he's not with Tampa Bay? Like, let's see. Like, let's take it to the next level here. Like, you have something to do here. You have something to prove. But other than that, just the presence of like an Eduardo Rodriguez makes it slightly more palatable than the Kansas City Royals. I'm going with the Guardians in third. I think they take a step back. Last year, they were very young. They were very inexperienced. They didn't know how in over the head they were. This year, there's tape. This year, there are expectations. So, we're going to see if they can rise to meet those expectations or if they're going to fold. They brought in Zunino. We'll see if that's enough. Because there aren't that many changes to this roster. So, I think last year they outkicked their coverage. This year, they're going to come down to earth just a little bit. Just a little bit. Second place, I'm in on the Twins. Like, I think that the Pablo Lopez move is going to prove to be a very good one. The rotation is solid. The pitching is there. What are you going to get from this offense? Yes, Carlos Correa is there. I understand that. The pitching is what's going to carry them. The pitching is what's going to carry them here. You can't expect Correa to finish the year, right? He's going to miss time. You can't expect Buxton. Buxton's going to get hurt. Like, he's good to miss at least 60 games. That's why they went and got Michael A. Taylor. You need somebody who can actually play the outfield. The immortal Joey Gallo is there. They're hoping, they're banking, they're praying that Joey Gallo returns to Texas Ranger form. Never mind, we're going to forget that Joey Gallo was a Yankee. They're banking on the fact that he's in such a small market now that he'll return to form. What are you going to get from Kepler? What are you going to get from Kirilloff? This team is very pitching forward, and I think they're going to do just enough. They'll make some moves, and they will definitely bolster that offense. But the perfect storm of offense, defense, and pitching is the Chicago White Sox. Up and down that roster, right? Yes, Mike Clevenger is a question mark. He is. You can't deny it. But they have more than enough to make up for him not being there if he gets Bauer. Right? That bullpen alone, very deep. You have Diekman, Graveman, Joe Kelly is there. You have that is a deep one. Spellman's own Nick Padilla. Cardinal Spellman's own Nick Padilla. He's a non-roster invitee. Maybe he makes a couple spot starts this year. And then you get to the roster. You get to the position players. Right? Moncada, Anderson, Leury Garcia. They went and got Benintendi, right? They lost Abreu, but they changed up how they're doing things. Sheets is still there. Vaughn is still there. Robert's still there. Jimenez is still there. Loaded. It's time for the Pale Hose to live up to the potential.
Thanks for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you like what you heard and want to hear more, be sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Rate us 5 stars, leave us a review, turn on subscription notifications, and tell your friends. Spread the word, spread it wide.